Welcome back, everybody. This is Dhane Diesil with Productview. On today's episode, we are broadcasting live from Stitch Studios in beautiful Inglewood, California. And we have a special guest, Mr. Jerald Smith of Daylen Smith Fashion.
Appreciate you.
Welcome on, my brother.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here, man. This is exciting time. So.
Very much some exciting times. So, the purpose of this show is to give entrepreneurs an opportunity to tell the origin story of their brand. So, we're going to go right in right now. First question. I want you to take us back to the beginning. Take us back to when you first got started. What what made you want to create the product you created, in this regards, suits?
It's interesting, right? So I definitely have to do justice. My sister. So I initially got approached. I was in between situations. Education was home. I was a dean at a charter school at one point. And then things kind of happened where that opportunity, kind of stopped. Then from there, my sister just started a brand, Cranberries and Whiskey,
Okay.
where she was doing accessories.
Okay.
She knew that I was always into kind of fashion. Also had been a couple of other entrepreneurial type of situations. So she
Okay.
said, hey, you know what? I need a little help. From there, literally at that time, my best friend, Brandon Anderson, or one of my best friends, he at his wedding.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you know what, sister, we'll do the accessories on that end for his wedding. And you know what? I actually have a plug on the suits because
Okay.
I was already,
You was already in the game.
I was already in the game. I was just
Right.
wearing suits and things in that fashion. Already was dealing with my tailor for about 5 years plus. So, that foundation was there, but I didn't know it was a foundation yet.
Okay.
Then after thinking about it, after that wedding, it just kind of hit like, wait, if she's doing the accessories, shit, I can do the suits. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
it then went from there like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make this a brand. And then kind of like on some, let me also bet on myself type of situation.
Okay.
So I would say that kind of is the ground root of where it started, was from her bringing the idea of bringing me along her ride.
Okay.
And then from there, being on that ride, like, hey, you know what? I can drive the car.
So it was all a family affair.
Yeah, all a family affair.
That's what's up, right?
Respect
there.
To my sister.
Respect.
Man, straight
family affair. Family is important.
All time.
So we understand that being an entrepreneur can be challenging.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? A lot of people seem to believe that entrepreneurs are these strong and capable individuals, but in reality, we know that an entrepreneur can definitely be ill-equipped. They can be weak. You know what I mean? They can be afraid. They can be filled with self-doubt. They can be in desperate need of help. So when it came to, after you made the decision to get in the suits and do your thing, tell us some of the, enormous challenges that you had bringing your idea to market.
I mean, I would say one of the biggest challenges, and even to this day, I kind of still face it here and there, is really truly understanding your value.
Okay.
Like,
that's actually a good one.
Oh, bro, it's like being an entrepreneur, like you said, it's a scary situation. I talk to folks about it. It's like, because again, we don't have the stability like the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So that idea of looking into the future, it's kind of vague sometimes, right? And that's like the scary part.
Facts.
But then the other part is like, okay, when you bet on yourself fully, you're not even scared about that. So, and I would say that has been a challenge. Even though I'm in that realm, I still find myself jumping in and out of betting on myself. Okay. Really going all in. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one challenge. Other things, man, is just bumps along the journey, bro. You know what I mean? Like the mistakes of understanding the business side of it,
Mm-hmm.
how to do the taxes
Mm-hmm.
and all of the actual operational side of those things. Because, a part of me truly is on that creative end.
Right.
I mean, it's like
it's
a difference. You have the creative side of the entrepreneurial life, but then you also have the business side of the entrepreneurial life.
Right.
So, really making sure that you separate the two,
mm-hmm.
and really hone into, doing what's necessary for both situations. The other part, to keep it a buck, I feel like, with men sometimes we have this issue is asking for help.
Yes. Yes.
There's
Asking
been
for help.
yeah, there's been time, I mean, shoot, it's a beautiful thing about you being a frat. You know what I mean? There's been multiple times where I've been able to talk to you just the strength about what my ideas is and what I'm trying to
Hmm.
do. And other people, I mean, well, not other people, but sometimes that doesn't happen
Yes.
because of one, pride within ourselves, or two, just the fear of just the criticism, like, oh, a whole bunch of things. But allowing, especially people that you really, that they want your best interest,
Hmm.
allowing that space for them to give those opinions.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it was important for me to like, and that took time to actually get out of myself and be able to open up those windows for, the signs, the brains, the BAs, and so on. So
Right.
I would say that is also. And then the last, I know I could go to a rant, but one other thing is the fact of just staying with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
Like
stick to
stick.
itiveness.
You know what I'm
Or
saying?
stick
Like,
to activity or stick to itiveness.
bruh, like
Right. Whatever it is.
so
Right.
I'm always on that 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
A business term is 3 to 5 years, and there come a point in time within the 3 to 5 years that you may have to do a little rebranding. May have to do a little reset, but that's also the time where a lot of people stop and fail. Like, you know what? It's not it for me.
Facts.
And I can
Facts.
honestly say that, especially during the COVID times and stuff like that, like I actually pushed through that. So
Okay. Okay. Well, those are some very interesting challenges. As you said, unbeknownst to most people, being an entrepreneur is challenging. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
It is filled, again, you do experience confidence crises. You are filled with doubt. Like you said, you do need help. So don't just think that being an entrepreneur is just some easy job where you can just go from, pivot right into it and just, be smooth selling. It's going to be some challenges that you're going to have to overcome. But as you said, got to have that stick to itiveness. So next question. In light of all the challenges, what I mean, you were able to persevere, obviously, because, here we are. So can you just share, like, who helped you with their guidance along the way? Like any mentors, any courses, any books, any events you attended, etc.
that's good. Um, start off with the book.
Hmm.
The Alchemist definitely is a book. It just has a lot of different meanings, a lot of
Okay.
different vantage points that I could, you can take from that. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding just, the process of the journey,
Hmm.
the unexpectedness that comes with it. So I would definitely say that book is one. As far as people, again, I mentioned you earlier. Like we've bounced so many different ideas, the different courses.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Got some
been
good work
it
in.
get some good work. You know what I'm
Pause.
saying? That part. But yeah, definitely with that. On your end, my other court, group, my best friend, Son Brayton, BA as well. Like I feel like I tell folks all the time too. It's like important for you to have like a group that it's okay for them to criticize you.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
feel a
Yeah.
certain
You're
type
not
of
gonna
way.
have to feel like a personal attack
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
sense.
Because like they're going to tell you what's not going good.
Right.
Like, and that's the
They're
thing
gonna be
about
honest.
they're gonna be honest. Like, it can get you can get caught up into that. Oh yeah, you doing good, and man, you look like you doing. It's like, but
You
you
need
also
somebody to pull
need,
that coattail.
yeah, like nah, bro, you lazy as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having that recognition, what I mean. So yeah, a couple other folks, families, of course, is in there. You know what I mean? Like family's always in the back of my head. That's also, that's like the underlining driving force is
Gotcha.
actually family.
Gotcha.
Like, showing like, as far as with my niece and nephew, opportunities there, just put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with my mom, you know what I mean? Like, this, there's different ways to get to a goal.
Right. Right.
And I definitely can say I'm one of the first to, kind of jump on that entrepreneurial, fully side of things. So.
Okay. Now we kind of just went over this briefly, but to give you guys a image of what the direction we're going, being in sales can be like trying to cross a river for a customer. You know what I mean? They're on one end of the shore and they got to get to the other shore. and in between them is this, this strong flowing water. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just say that that's basically the sales experience. I know sales is is a very challenging aspect of entrepreneurship for a lot of people, because it can be hard to ask for a sale when your whole life you've pretty much been conditioned not to. Not to ask, because it's viewed as you shouldn't be. Well, not shouldn't, but typically, growing up, they frown upon self promotion or asking people directly for money. Yet that's just part of the business.
I never thought about that.
That's part of the business, though,
Until
right?
you just said that right now, I'm like,
Right. Think about it.
That makes sense. Right?
But that's part of the business. So that's why a lot of people are apprehensive to ask for sales. But the reality is people usually don't do things until you ask them to do them.
Correct.
So with that in mind, what were some of the stepping stones that you had to develop to help people get across that river from being a customer or being a prospect to a paying customer? If it was like an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, what would you say that was?
Well,
what are those stepping stones?
Oh man. And again, I guess that will go into, on my end, this is where I go into being lazy. Again, I'm on this first podcast I'm doing, so why not be transparent, right? Because with being transparent, it also allows you to, what you need to do to move forward, right?
Yes.
So even when you just made those words or said those things of why particularly we don't sell ourselves, because of what we've been taught in the past and how we viewed selling in the past, I honestly never thought about that until you just said it. Because I'm actually one where I still, be very honest, like I don't fully like sell myself. Like
I mean, we all struggle with that.
And I do feel that, again, one of the reasons why that can kind of be, and again, I don't want to say I'm fully in that realm, because obviously I have to sell something.
Everything is a work in progress.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm still here, so obviously I'm selling something, right?
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so some sales are being made.
Some sales are being made.
Even though he feels a little about it, sales are still getting made.
That part. But it goes into, getting over the hump of that, valuing yourself.
Okay.
Then two, see, the cool thing about my particular field of things, I don't want to look at it as a sale. Like, I actually look at it as okay, I'm just providing, some game, a product in essence that's going to make a person feel good.
So in that vein right there, it sounds like we've established the first stepping stone, which is giving them game, but more so educating them about the product.
Oh yeah, facts.
So that's the first step.
Facts.
So what's step 2? So think of it as
an act. So think of it as
an act, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So for Act 1 is we got to give them, we got to educate them.
Got you.
So Act 2 is then what?
Okay, I like the breakdown. So let's take and say about first act. You got to be attracted. You got to have some type of traction. So that could be in any form of the content that is being posted, or
Oh, so you taking it back?
Yeah. Now that I fully know,
get the customer.
Yeah, now that I fully know what you're saying,
Okay,
step 1 is actually getting a customer.
Okay.
I have noticed that, again, it's a gift and a curse, but with social media, when I do post here and there, sometimes I may get the hit up because now they saw my face or they saw something related to that, right? Mm-hmm. Then once I see that, now it actually is just diving in more into what they want. Trying to figure out, or better yet, as you say, solving the problem.
Yeah.
Figuring out what the actual problem is at that actual time, and me being able to provide or let them know these are the solutions I'm able to provide. Boom.
Indeed.
Once I do that, then it goes now diving more into the knowledge game.
Okay.
Once they understand that, okay, he's actually an expert into this particular field. Now that trust factor comes into, yeah, what he's telling me probably is I'm rolling with what he's
probably
telling
valid.
Me. He's probably valid. So he's telling me go with this.
He's probably going to be more accurate than me.
Man. And then also remind folks, I'm one of those that I want to continue the relationship. Mm-hmm. So it's not about that particular one sale. It's actually just about building the connection, the relationship, and possibly the sale may come after it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I said out loud, I think.
Okay. So now we have a pretty much an ABC or 1, 2, 3 of what it takes for someone to go from not knowing you or being a suspect to a paying customer. You know what I mean? They gotta, obviously the customer has to be acquired. Mm-hmm. You just said a lot of the time. Well, not a lot of times, but it can be through social media. Mm-hmm. So once you get the customer and they see you, and then like you said, then you get them, because again, you have them go to a form, they fill out their information, and you receive said form, and you're able to look at it to see what they're asking for, what they want. And then after that, then to your point, then you start giving them a little game about the specific items that they want.
Yep.
And then you schedule them to come to the studio.
Let's link up, pull up.
Then they come and get fitted. You know, they get measured out. They, you know, go through the books.
With a drink on the side.
With a drink on the with a shot of whiskey on the side.
What's up,
Or bourbon, depending upon what part of the country you're in.
Basil Hayden, what's up?
Basil, let's get him, my boy Basil. And then after that, they got measured. You know, they picked out their fabrics. They got they style, they look, they got everything squared away. And then you let them know, obviously, how much it'll be, and then they pay, and then the suits get made or tailored or whatever it is, and then you deliver.
Exactly. The marks process, they come in again for the fitting.
Yeah, right. They got to come back in for fitting to make sure it's right.
Make sure the fine tune is good.
And then they get it.
And then we get money.
And then they able to go look like I said, look at that masterpiece my boy Daylen Smith just put on him. You know what I'm saying?
Be prepared for the compliments.
Be prepared for the compliments. There it is. You heard it here first.
Be prepared. You know what I mean?
All right, bro. So with that being said, how did you figure out how to start to confidently ask customers for the question? I mean, how did you start figuring out, or how did you figure out how to start to confidently ask your customers for the sale or to place the order?
It goes again, because I also still find myself in that space. Again, I'm just being transparent of value where I'm not which I should be. And again, entrepreneurs, you have to be this, right? Like I was talking
not to cut your wisdom off right now. I'm gonna stall you out on the should. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But we already know from other shows how we feel about that should word. But nevertheless, because should is a word that we used to beat ourselves up with at the end of the day. It's a limiting word, so we don't want to use should only because again we don't want to limit ourselves, and we don't want to beat ourselves for what we think we should have done. Because life doesn't turn out the way it should. It doesn't turn out the way it shouldn't. It just turns out the way it does.
Respect to that.
All right.
Appreciate that.
So it wasn't a matter of should per se, but. You were learning. You were figuring it out.
Learning. Again, just going in and just be like, you know what? I am that guy.
Yeah, confidence, basically.
That's, I mean, once you really, truly understand that, and again, me personally, like I know, like I have, the creative side, like all of that just starts to amplify once you go back into that. Dog, I'm that guy. I'm you know what I mean, my new term.
They're talking to you for a reason.
Exactly. So let's stop trying to figure out why they're actually talking to you or how they actually got to you, but more so understand that that was supposed to be here in the first place because you're that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially in your game, because again, we got Men's Warehouse, we got Friar Tucks. We got in Indochino. So we got plenty of options, but they decided to come and do business with Daylen Smith.
And I think one of the was raw, or one of the things that, I remember, San, even Brady was telling me, like, there's going to come a point in time, like, you're going to be the suit guy. You're going to be the suit guy. I like the term now, the suit guru is what I'm trying to, incorporate. But it's real cool when now other folks, are starting to connect with that and you don't even know. So again, it goes back into, why are you having these questions about yourself and, certain things where the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
And like I said, once you really get over that hump, that's when when you see those results. So like I said, I have my times of back and forth, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's everybody's journey.
Understandable. All right. So again, we talked about the origin story in regards to coming up with the product. In your case, getting in the suit game. We talked about, the challenges that you had to overcome. We talked about, who your guides were. We talked about the stepping stones that customers need to take to get from not knowing you to paying customer, not knowing what Daylen Smith has to offer to being a paying customer. And then we talked about, how you figured out how to confidently ask for the sale. So in light of all of that, kind of going back to the beginning now, take us back to your thoughts in regards to what was at stake if you failed.
That's funny. Because, I mean, that's still the stake. Like, that's the...
Still a thought in your
Yeah,
mind.
that's it.
But what is that thought?
Oh, you failed. So once I left the school, right, when that whole thing came about, I told myself that I will never allow someone else to have control of my well-being, meaning in a job essence, right? And with that being said, like, that means I have to bet on myself.
Yes.
And once I stop betting on myself, like, I've already registered in my head that there's no other person that I'm going to be looking towards.
Facts.
So I'm back at, you know what I mean? So I'm back at square one myself. You know what I mean? So there is no, you can't even think that. Like I said, there's those moments where I have, like, you know, questions, but the root of it, though, it always goes back to that.
Yes.
It always goes back to, I mean, and then the other part of it, you know, which helps is specifically in my, you know, and hopefully the goal for every, you know, entrepreneur out there, you know, you find something that you actually love to do, have a passion for. Okay. So it actually makes it a whole lot easier. You know what I mean? Like, because this is a space where it's still fun. You know what I mean? I'm happy doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like work. So that part.
Okay. Now to close things out, we are rounding third, headed on home. Last question, Mr. Smith of Daylen Smith Fashion. What was at stake if you succeeded? Remember, think about back when you first got started. What did you believe was at stake if you won? Or not if you won, when you won.
Stability. Stability and freedom. Okay. Man, that's it.
That's a big one.
Those are it. I mean, shit, if you're not one of the coldest lines, bro. He said, he made a comment about how, you know, not being able to go on lunch when you want to go on lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
whether it's a 5-minute lunch,
30
a 2-hour lunch,
like, bro,
30-minute lunch, right?
And somebody having that control to tell you when you gotta come back. Bro, when you do get on that side of, you know, the side of the entrepreneur life, and then that tap into that, just the essence of freedom while you're doing something that you love to do, and the cool thing about it is you're able to make a little money, you know, living off of it. That's you know, the dream, with the American dream, right? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Okay. And you know, constantly being able to push forward to that. Other part is opportunity. So it's not only opportunity for yourself, right? Because it's not about just yourself. That's another game about it. Like, it's also putting an opportunity for the next person.
I agree.
So being able to bring other folks on, you know what I mean?
Putting people on, as they would say.
That's the goal, bro.
Gotcha.
So if I win, we all win it in some form or fashion.
Hey, amen to that.
Straight up.
Amen to that. All right, brother. So in closing, please just let the people know where they can go, find out more about Daylen Smith Fashion.
Oh, man. Daylen Smith Fashion, man. So you can, you know, the IGs, let's do social media. So Daylen Smith Fashion. Also, Sir Daylen Smith is the personal. I just started Daylen Smith Weddings, man. I'm really diving into that demographic even more and more and more. Website wise, DaylenSmithFashion.com as well as DaylenSmithWeddings.com.
Okay.
It is prom season, so get ready. You know, like I said, I got a little term called the prom guru. So I'm that guy. You know what I mean? So, you know, you could search that as well. But, you know, truly, you can find me in Inglewood.
Stitch Studios.
You know what I'm saying? Located
live
in Inglewood.
And direct, baby.
My old term was suiting up the neighborhood, so that ain't stopped.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Daylen Smith Fashion, aka my boy Jerald Smith. He just put y'all on, Mr. the prom guru, the wedding guru, the suit guru. So if you look at him, I mean, this is ain't this. Amen. Look at this. I mean, this is, I say, this is that Egyptian cotton. It's Egyptian cotton.
You heard that client, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So quality craftsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. So go check him out, Daylen Smith Fashion. Till next time. Peace.
Appreciate you.